Hello guys, and tonight I'm going to be cooking chicken breast with peppercorn sauce and roasted new potatoes with a bit of rosemary and sea salt, and I'm going to serve it with a bit of broccoli. You can serve it with whatever veg you like, obviously. So nice easy one today. Was going to do a roast dinner, but there's only two of us and one of the kids, so I didn't see the point in putting all the effort in. So just going to do a nice easy one today. So just yeah, 2 chicken breasts. I'm going to pan fry those and then going to get them in the oven, because there's various ways of cooking chicken breasts. Obviously I find you just chuck the raw breast into the oven, it's just going to dry out and not taste of a lot. So basically the best way to do it is to pan fry both sides, get a nice bit of colour on it, and that'll lock in the moisture of the chicken breast. And then I'll just chuck mine in the oven for 15-20 minutes until it's cooked. You can cut the chicken, because the chicken breasts are quite thick, you can cut them in half and what we call butterfly them, and you can solely cook it in the frying pan if you wish, but I like to just seal them off either side, chuck them in the oven, and it's nice and straightforward. And I'm just going to make a bit of peppercorn sauce, which is basically going to be some finely diced onions, some peppercorns, a bit of brandy, and some cream and some seasoning. It's a nice easy sauce, takes about five minutes or so to make, and we'll do that near the end. And just going to roast some new potatoes. I've just got some some small new potatoes there, and I'm going to cut mine in half, and I'm going to sprinkle some chopped fresh rosemary over them, and some sea salt flakes, and just roast them in the oven. It's a nice easy one, quick and easy. And yeah, let's get this one started. Right, so first things first, I've just got my broccoli all chopped up, ready to go in there. It's in the water. I'll put that on to boil in a bit, and I've just got a small oven-proof dish and just my new potatoes. I'm just gonna cut them in half. You can do this on a chopping board if you wish. I haven't got that many potatoes because we're not that hungry today, so do as many potatoes as you wish. Cut them in half would obviously reduce the cooking time as well. So yeah, my wife doesn't have many potatoes either, so yeah, so literally cut your potatoes in half, one little gentle dollop of vegetable oil, and just sprinkle some chopped rosemary that I've already chopped up, and just a bit of sea salt. I know it's very simple. You can just do normal roast potatoes if you like, but this just adds a bit of extra flavour to it, and it is really nice. You don't want to drown them in oil, just a nice little coating, and they will crisp with those skins on as well. They'll crisp up really nice. I've also, as you can see, I've got my frying pan on to heat, which I'm going to fry off my chicken breast. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get that straight in the oven. Those potatoes, my oven's already hot, it's on about 180, 200 degrees. Just going to chuck those potatoes in there, and just wait for my pan to get hot, and then I'm going to fry the chicken. Right, back again guys, as you can see there, my pan is smoking hot, so we're going to be very quick with this. A nice little dollop of oil, and this is smoking hot. You don't want too much. And you know, 2 chicken breasts. Just get them colouring on both sides. Wash my hands a sec. You just want to be very careful when you're frying it at very high heat, as it will they can set off smoke alarms. You've got to make sure you keep an eye on it. So all you want is, you just want a nice brown colour on. You're not going to cook them all the way through. Just going to cook them on either side. Yeah, a little bit more. They've got a bit of colour on them, but we'll just give them a little bit more. As I said, if you're only just colouring the outside, it'll lock in any moisture as well. So, 1 or 2 minutes either side is plenty. You can season it before you cook it if you wish, but I've got a nice peppercorn sauce going over this, so I don't want to add too much seasoning, because there's going to be a lot of seasoning in my sauce anyway. There we go, that's what you're looking for. That's what you're looking for, a nice bit of brown colour on the top there. Like I said, 1 or 2 minutes either side is absolutely plenty. So while you're doing this, your potatoes are in the oven. They're probably going to be in there for about 40-45 minutes. So yeah, you want to get them in the oven as soon as you can. And we're going to give this chicken about 20 minutes in the oven. It's quite a thick breast, so it'll take a little bit longer. So once they're coloured on both sides, you can feel the outside on them like this. Just turn them on their side, just make sure you get all that pink off. Alright, let's turn that off. There we go, 2 sealed chicken breasts. It will make a massive difference. That's it, and we'll just chuck them in the oven. I've got a timer set for the potatoes, so when that goes off, I'll chuck the chicken in the oven. So I'll see you in a sec. Right guys, so the potatoes have been in for about 20 minutes, so I've just shaken them up, give them a stir, turn them over, all that sort of thing, and I've just got the chicken in, so the chicken's going to take about 15-20 minutes. By then the potatoes will be cooked anyway. So yeah, so it's just all that's left is now is to do the peppercorn sauce. Alright, back again guys, so chicken's got about 10 minutes left in the oven, so we're going to get the peppercorn sauce on the go. So you're going to need a little bit of butter and oil. We're going to sort of shallow fry some onions, going to sweat them down, and with some black peppercorns, I've left some whole and I'm going to crush some as well. And we're going to add a little bit of brandy and some cream, and we're just basically going to bring all that together and have a nice lovely peppercorn sauce. Right, onto our sauce. So we got our broccolis just coming up to a boil there, and our pan is getting nice and hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to chuck a bit of butter in the pan with a splash of oil to stop the butter from burning. Give it a stir round and chuck our onion in there. And our peppercorns. So we want this on a medium heat. You don't want it too hot. It's just going to fry your onions. We're just going to give them a shallow, because we're going to sweat them off, give them a little sort of shallow fry. And keep it moving, otherwise it'll stick. The other onions are just starting to go soft now. I can smell them, they're just starting to cut. There's no colour on them. In with the brandy. I've done a double shot of brandy. Gonna let that alcohol burn off a bit there. Smells really nice. Obviously, if I had a gas stove, I could tip the frying pan up a little bit and get the flame into the alcohol and flambe it and burn off the alcohol. But I'm just gonna have to wait a minute or two for this to reduce in volume. It should reduce about half. And then what you want to do with that really is you want to burn the alcohol off and get rid of the bitterness. And all we're going to do then is just add our cream. So yeah, it's a lovely sauce. That's already reducing down there in volume. So, but you want a little bit of it there because you want to be able to taste the brandy in it. So. Yeah, nice generous portion of cream there. Just give it a stir. What we'll do with that is we'll just heat that up through. I'll chuck a bit of salt in there now. We'll heat that through and we'll give it a taste. Need a bit more cream, we should be alright with that. Yeah. And my chicken and my potatoes are cooked now. I've just taken them out of the oven. The chicken's resting, so I'm just waiting for the sauce and the broccoli now. So, like I said, so you get your pan on a medium heat, chuck your butter and your oil in there, and then you sweat off your onions and chuck your peppercorns in as well, and then you add your brandy. Don't have to add brandy, you can add red wine if you wish. And obviously once this cream is starting to come up to simmer. You can already see it's already starting to thicken up. We don't want to boil the hell out of it. We just want it over a nice gentle heat there. And then what we'll do with that, we'll just cook that for a few minutes, and then we'll just check the seasoning and then go from there, and then we'll dish one up in a sec. Right, so everything's all cooked now, and we've just plated one up. So obviously we've got a little bit of our broccoli, a few potatoes, and some nice chicken I've just cut up there. And all we're going to do now with that sauce is just drizzle it over the top of the chicken. See if you can see it. Just nice little helping, just like that. I mean, you can't, most of the time you'll probably serve this sauce with a steak, but we had steak last night, but you can serve it with chicken, you can serve it with anything you like really. But yeah, lovely plate of food. So one thing to bear in mind with the chicken is there's various ways of checking it's cooked. Chicken tends to, when it's raw, it's very spongy. So if you want to do like the finger test, when it comes out the oven, it should sort of spring back when you press it with your finger, press the thickest part of the breast, and it'll sort of spring back. Or you stab a knife in it and make sure the juices are clear. And or you can just temperature probe it. As like I said, as long as it's 70 degrees or above, it's fine. Or you could just cut one open and check, and if it's not done, just chuck it back in the oven. But sealing that off in the frying pan, that really locks in the moisture, so your chicken is going to be lovely and moist when you're eating it. But also advise, once any meat is cooked, you allow it to rest. So allow the chicken breast 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes in a sort of a lukewarm place, like in the top part of the oven if you've got two ovens. Just let it rest and let the meat settle, and then tuck in. So yeah, again, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers, guys.